Hi there and welcome to the Daily Arsenal News Show. Let's dive into today's top stories. Darren Bent says £27 million player is actually more important for Arsenal than Declan Rice. Darren Bent has claimed that Arsenal star William Saliba is actually more important for the Gunners than Declan Rice. Mikel Arteta has built a tremendous squad, hasn't he? Arsenal are so strong in every area of the pitch, and Rice and Saliba are two of their best players. Bent, however, is convinced that the France international is the main man. Arsenal signed Declan Rice for a club record fee in last summer's transfer window, and he has been an unbelievable signing for them. The Englishman has played every single game for the Gunners in the Premier League and the Champions League so far. He has barely had a bad game all season, and Arsenal fans absolutely love him. Darren Bent was asked by Andy Goldstein on Talksport to name Arsenal's most important player right now. The Pundit replied by saying, Rice or Saliba. Goldstein then pressed Bent to pick one. Which one? If one has to go missing for the rest of the season, who would you pick? Bent thought for a few seconds before replying, Do you know what? Declan would have to go, not Saliba, no way. Arsenal signed William Saliba from Saint-Étienne in a £27 million deal back in 2019, but it was only at the start of last season that he was given an opportunity. The Frenchman hit the ground running in an Arsenal shirt and was unbelievable last term. He was one of the biggest reasons why the Gunners were so good, but once he suffered his season-ending injury, Mikel Arteta's side crumbled. Arsenal, who spent two-thirds of the campaign on top of the Premier League table, ended up finishing second after a poor end to the campaign. That showed just how important Saliba is to this Arsenal side. If the Frenchman can stay fit until the end of the season, the Gunners have every chance of going all the way in the title race. Pundit has noticed 25-year-old Arsenal midfielder is basically playing as a striker now. Declan Rice has all of a sudden become a real attacking threat for Arsenal. The midfielder has 5 goal contributions in his last 4 games, and it's clear to see that something has clearly changed in the way the England international has been operating. Speaking on the Handbrake Off podcast, Adrian Clark has been discussing Rice's positioning in recent games, and he noticed that the midfielder has almost been operating as a striker at times as of late. Indeed, Clark says that Rice is often charging around the front line at the moment, claiming that he is playing in a much more advanced role lately. Clark spoke about the midfielder's recent performances. He said, Declan Rice, his performance was interesting. He was charging around as a striker. He is doing this more and more. He did it for the Saka goal against Newcastle, where Havertz nicked it for the first goal. He basically stood up front, and for his goal, just watch him. He is basically standing up front. Then he shows for the ball like a striker and finishes like a strike would. Rice playing as an auxiliary striker isn't something we expected to see at Arsenal, but to be fair, it's working a charm. Indeed, Rice has been utterly brilliant in recent weeks for the Gunners, and his attacking returns just go to show how useful he can be in this position. It's incredible to think that Rice started his career as a centre-back, and now he is becoming more and more attacking as time goes on. The implementation of Jorginho in that holding midfield role has really helped Rice unlock a new side to his game, and as recent results for Arsenal have shown, the England international is thriving in this new role. Who knows? Perhaps Rice has a future as more of a forward player. Newcastle United now want to sign £35 million player from Arsenal this summer. Newcastle United want to sign Zinchenko from Arsenal this summer. That's what is being reported by Football Transfers, who state that the Ukrainian is a wanted man. The report states that both Bayern Munich and Newcastle want to sign Zinchenko, and in all honesty, that's not a surprise. Both teams separately need a new left back. Alphonso Davies is set to join Real Madrid this summer, while Dan Burn doesn't quite do the job for Newcastle anymore. Zinchenko himself may be looking for a way out of Arsenal too. Jakub Kivior seems to have taken his place, and while the impending return of Jurriën Timber could push Zinchenko further down the hierarchy, the £35 million man has only been at Arsenal for 18 months, but it looks as though another move could be on the horizon. He's got two very intriguing clubs looking at him, and there are numerous factors Zinchenko will have to consider here if offers do come in. Bayern Munich are a bit of a dumpster fire at the moment, and with Thomas Tuchel set to leave in the summer, it remains to be seen who their new manager will be and if Zinchenko would be able to fit into their tactical setup. Meanwhile, Zinchenko could be a great fit at Newcastle, either at left back or even in the midfield, but at the same time, the Magpies may not be playing European football next season, and Zinchenko will probably want to be playing in the Champions League. Left backs will be in serious demand this summer, as the Davis deal looks to set off something of a transfer domino effect, and with Zinchenko seemingly more and more out of favour at Arsenal now, it's no surprise to see him being linked with a move away from the Emirates. This is certainly a situation to keep an eye on as we head into the summer. West Ham have just held internal evaluations about signing £60 million Arsenal player this summer. West Ham United are once again evaluating whether they should make a move to sign Emil Smith-Rowe from Arsenal this summer. Arsenal are expected to have a very busy summer transfer window. All eyes will be on incomings, but a number of players could be shown the door as well. Smith-Rowe might be one of them. Emil Smith-Rowe is an absolute fan favourite at Arsenal. The Englishman, who has been at the club since he was a kid, came through the ranks at Hale End. He burst onto the scene under Mikel Arteta a few seasons ago and quickly became one of the most exciting players in the Premier League. However, injuries have been really cruel to Smith-Rowe over the last 18 months. He didn't start a single game last season because of that and has fallen down the pecking order at Arsenal now. West Ham tried to sign Smith-Rowe on loan in January, but Arsenal rejected that move. Now, the Hammers are thinking about it once again. That's according to Rudy Galati, who wrote in his column on Coat Offside the following: "The player has already received several approaches from many English clubs who could try again in June. West Ham are among these, and the Hammers have already concretely shown their interest in Smith-Rowe, so it's not excluded that they could try again in the summer." Indeed, internal evaluations on Smith-Rowe at West Ham have been underway during recent weeks. When Emil Smith-Rowe is fit and gets consistent game time, he has the ability to become one of the best players in the Premier League. The 23-year-old is quick, has tremendous acceleration, can score goals and provide assists. He can play in almost every attacking position as well. West Ham's interest is nothing new. David Moyes' side have had an eye on Smith-Rowe since October last year, but Arsenal demanded £60 million to let him go in the winter window. We are sure the Gunners will want a significant amount of money in the summer as well, because there will be interest in Smith-Rowe from multiple clubs. Arsenal could make a big signing in key possession this summer. Speaking in his latest YouTube video, Watts discussed Edin Ketea's future and feels it's the right time for the Hale End Academy product to move. The journalist also spoke about Mika Biereth, who is making a huge impact in the Eredivisie after leaving Arsenal on loan last summer. Despite Biereth's encouraging season, Watts expect Arsenal to make a big investment up front this summer. He said, I think Arsenal still need a striker. I think they will get a striker, and I think this summer we will see a big investment in the forward line. With Arsenal currently scoring for fun, some would be forgiven for feeling they don't need a striker, yet you only have to look at their fellow title challengers Manchester City to see what kind of an impact a goal scorer can have on a team. City have already won the Premier League 4 times before snapping up Erling Haaland, but after landing the Norwegian, his goals helped City to a treble last term, which included an elusive Champions League. We have already seen that Arsenal are intent on constantly improving Arteta's squad, and there is certainly room for improvement up front. Arsenal have been scouting £43 million striker who's been compared to Erling Haaland. Arsenal have been reportedly scouting RB Leipzig striker Benjamin Sesko over the past 6 months. Despite Arsenal's exceptional form in front of goal in recent weeks, Mikel Arteta's side continued to be linked with a move for a new striker. The Gunners were unable to dip into the market in January due to financial fair play constraints. Ivan Toney was widely viewed as their top target at the time, and while links to the Englishman haven't died down, it would appear that Arsenal are keeping their options open. The Evening Standard reports that while Brentford will offload Toney this summer, Arsenal have been eyeing other options as well as the busy star. Indeed, it's claimed that the Gunners have sent scouts to watch Sesko and Sporting Lisbon striker Victor Gyökeres over the past 6 months. At 20, Sesko has already made quite a name for himself within the game. After the Slovenian secured a move to RB Leipzig last summer, he was even compared to Erling Haaland. Of course, with Haaland also playing for Salzburg during the early stages of his career, it's no surprise to see the duo have been compared. Yet, Sesko has also impressed during his time at Leipzig, having netted 11 goals in 31 games for the club during his debut campaign. While he doesn't boast the incredible numbers of Haaland, he is one of the most exciting young prospects in Europe right now. Reports have claimed that a £43 million release clause in Sesko's contract will become active this summer, but in our view, it would be a surprise to see Arsenal go for a less proven striker. Sesko undoubtedly has a huge potential, but the Gunners will surely be looking for a number 9 who can come in and take them to the next level, much like Haaland did at Manchester City. Arsenal want incredible 21-year-old attacker. The Standard have now shared a report detailing Arsenal's interest in Athletic Bilbao's Nico Williams. At 21 years old, Williams have already earned a lofty reputation, a forward who is often hailed as incredible, and according to this information, Arsenal still have a move for Williams on their radar this summer when they are expected to spend big. Williams has long been considered one of Europe's most exciting young talents who's continuing to improve in La Liga. Unai Emery is said to love Williams' skill set, even if a move is slightly beyond Aston Villa right now, but with a reported £43 million release clause, Arsenal could achieve something of a bargain if they did decide to make a move this summer. Despite how strong Arteta's squad looks right now, there is definitely still space for another elite-level winger. Arsenal are also said to be considering a move for Pedro Neto this summer via this report, interest that dates quite far back. And despite how well Arsenal are clicking up top right now, an injury to Bukayo Saka, for example, would still be incredibly disruptive. No team would cope well with losing one of their best players, but Arsenal can definitely improve their contingency plan. Perhaps a move for Nico Williams would see the likes of either Reece Nelson or Leandro Trossard leave after the season, which probably should be seen as an upgrade. Chelsea plan early sales to help fund transfer deals for Arsenal and Napoli stars. Chelsea are reportedly planning to make some sales early on in this summer's transfer window as they eye up Napoli striker Victor Osimhen and Arsenal goalkeeper Aaron Ramsdale as key targets. These two big names are unlikely to come cheap for the Blues, who are already close to being on the wrong side of financial fair play, meaning early player sales in the next transfer window look like an essential part of the plan, according to Football Insider. The report doesn't specify which players could be offloaded, but one imagines it wouldn't be too hard to speculate on a few who are not currently looking like key parts of Mauricio Pochettino's plans. Fabrizio Romano recently told Count Offside that Chelsea could let the likes of Marco Correa and Chalobah leave, while Gallagher is approaching the final year of his contract and Broja struggled to impress before being loaned out to Fulham in January. As we wrap up today's Arsenal news, remember to stay tuned for daily updates right here on the channel. Don't miss out on the latest updates, so make sure to hit that subscribe button and give us a like if you found this information valuable. Your support means the world to us. Thanks for watching, and until next time, take care.